Let's imagine that on one sunny afternoon, you're shopping for a monstrously powerful gaming computer, and you're reading through the specifications. In the middle of the list, or even on the top, you'll most likely stumble across the name Nvidia. And if you did, you'd be in luck, because you know that any computer that boasts a graphics card designed by Nvidia has to be a beast of a machine. And why is that, you may ask? To dig a little deeper, Nvidia is the company that builds graphic processing units, which, in the simplest of words, bring your computing experience to life. In essence, Nvidia is the producer of the world's most powerful and successful graphics cards and has ruled the market in graphics for decades. Sending a shiver down the spines of competitors like AMD and Intel, Nvidia has become a formidable player in the computing world. Fancy acronyms aside, however, this all begs the question: who is the mastermind behind the meteoric rise of this technological masterpiece? Today, in this video, that's exactly what we shall unravel, so stay tuned. The genius behind the birth of Nvidia happens to be a man named Jensen Huang. Walking through the story of Jensen Huang will not only explain how Nvidia came about, but how it got this far, and finally, where it's heading in a world that's changing faster than you can blink. So, pivoting our focus from the company onto the man, Jensen Huang is a Taiwanese-American born in a small coastal town of Taiwan in 1963. When he was young, his parents moved to the United States, to a town called Oneida in Kentucky. Upon relocating, Huang was admitted into the Oneida Baptist Institute, where he gained a razor-sharp work ethic and soared higher than any of his peers. There, he did everything from cleaning his dorm's toilets to becoming a champion in his school's tennis team, to even teaching his illiterate roommate how to read. When he was 14, he made it onto the front page of Sports Illustrated. Clearly, even the least discerning of observers could see a superstar in the making. A few years after his flying start in Oneida, his parents moved to the state of Oregon, not too far from the city of Portland. There, young Jensen graduated from Aloha High School and then stepped a foot onto Oregon State University to obtain his degree in electrical engineering. Graduating in 1984, he then hopped down the West Coast to obtain a master's in electrical engineering from the prestigious Stanford University. In 1992, Jensen graduated from Stanford and slowly emerged as one of the most talented young folks of his field. Upon graduating, Jensen was made a director at LSI Logic, a semiconductor company based in California at the time. Later, he became a designer of microprocessors at AMD, another well-known maker of PC components. Then, on his 30th birthday, Jensen decided to branch out and start his own company, which he named Nvidia. There, his fortunes changed forever, as did the fortunes of the computing industry. As we shall see, Nvidia's ride since 1993 has proven to be quite the journey. In the beginning, the founders wished to steer the company into the graphics computing market, where they saw much in terms of opportunity. At the same time, they felt that the gaming console market could become its first main customer demographic, based on the fact that their graphics needs are usually a little more intense. Their bet proved correct, which helped them receive a flood of venture capital and traction for further growth. In 1998, Nvidia released the Riva TNT graphics processing unit, which came to outperform all other similar devices in the market. In 1999, Nvidia was listed as a public company, marking another breakthrough in its fortunes. That same year, it unveiled its GeForce 256, which added onboard transformation and lighting, advanced video acceleration, and motion compensation to the interfaces it powered. At the turn of the century, Nvidia won its jewel in the crown, namely a contract from Microsoft to develop the GPUs of the Microsoft Xbox gaming console. At the same time, Nvidia used its growth spurt to swallow rival companies. In December 2000, Nvidia acquired the intellectual property of 3DFX, a company which was once considered a serious rival in the graphics computing realm. In 2002, Nvidia acquired software rendering tool maker XLuna. In 2003, it bagged MediaQ, and then iReady the following year. That same year, Nvidia announced that it would collaborate with Sony in the production of the graphics processor of the PlayStation 3. As it continued growing and shedding its competition on the way, it suddenly received a subpoena from the US Department of Justice. Unshaken by any government meddling, Nvidia was named the Company of the Year by Forbes in 2007. Truly, despite the copious amounts of competition in the graphics card market, Nvidia had prevailed as a pioneer, and soon enough, it decided to expand its service to include the universally applicable graphics processor units. This was a big jump from its previous offering of mere PC graphics cards, which put it into competition with giants like Intel. At the time, it was dismissed as a silly move, but as we speak today, Nvidia seems to have prevailed yet again, as the rise of AI has proven the demand for integrated graphics infrastructure like GPUs. As they rightly say, the early bird catches the worm. Anyway, since the rise of AI was still a few years ahead, Nvidia continued unveiling its sturdy range of graphics processor units. One of its major releases took place in 2011 with the unveiling of the Tegra 3 ARM system-on-chip for mobile devices. This, they argued, was the first chip to feature a quad-core CPU, and continuing its second hobby of acquiring new businesses, Nvidia acquired the British baseband chipmaker Icera for $367 million. Truly, Nvidia looked unstoppable as its growth spurt and buying spree only continued. On a more visual front, Nvidia released a new chip in 2016, the GeForce 10 series. The chip was such a game-changer that the companies that purchased a GeForce 10 GPU could suddenly manufacture the slimmest of laptops in the market. Simply said, it was able to pack a lot of punch in a tinier device, that the width of laptops fell below 0.8 inches. Yep, next time you're gunning down zombies on a slim as paper laptop, you know who to thank. Later down the line, Nvidia captures the gaze of giants like car maker Toyota and Chinese search engine Baidu. With Toyota, Nvidia was enlisted to provide a raft of AI-powered features for its up-and-coming autonomous vehicles. With Baidu, things went a little further, with plans to partner on autonomous driving technology, cloud computing, open-source AI frameworks, and many more fancy titles in the mix. This moment marks a new shift in Nvidia's strategy. From its initial venture in graphics cards to its expansion into wider GPUs, 2017 ushered in a new era in artificial intelligence for the stalwart chipmaker. Having thrust the company to such towering heights of success, Jensen Huang is well placed to steer the company into the AI generation. In fact, he seems quite enthusiastic about it too, according to an interview by the Financial Times, and he has a point, because much of AI's applications would simply not function without adequate graphics infrastructure. What's more, over the past 4 years alone, Nvidia's share price has multiplied by a gobsmacking 10 times. In July 2020, its net worth swept past Intel's value, making it the most valuable chip company in the world. Today, it maintains an almost monopolistic hold in the supply of AI-capable GPUs, facing no serious competition within this specific realm. Thus, it wouldn't be a bold statement to suggest that Nvidia is set to remain a preeminent technology firm for generations to come. With Jensen Huang's outstanding ability to read the market, Nvidia has won over many naysayers. Firstly, Huang correctly saw potential in the video gaming world, for which he was proven correct. Secondly, he then decided to produce entire GPUs, an idea that many rivals rubbished. Yet, he prevailed on that count too. Thirdly, his ambitions for dominating the AI field seem to be delivering, at least up till now. Now, this isn't to say that Huang is a wizard from the creepy hallways of Hogwarts. Indeed, he has swallowed some notable setbacks too. For example, when the cryptocurrency collapse took place in 2018-2019, Nvidia was forced to absorb painful losses as demand for its special crypto mining computers suddenly fizzled out. In response, SoftBank's Vision Fund sold its shares in Nvidia, which dealt another blow for Huang. However, he remained steadfast and Nvidia quickly recovered its losses. SoftBank quickly realized that it had made a mistake. Swiftly, it jumped back aboard and repurchased its stock at a higher price than it had before. Admittedly, Huang may have made a slight error and lost the odd battle, but he has always made amends and won the overall war. Moving forward, Huang remains busy in redesigning his company for a new AI-driven era, with many ambitious proposals in the pipeline. In October 2020, Nvidia pledged to build Britain's biggest ever supercomputer to date. Commanding a price tag of $40 million, the supercomputer would be situated in the city of Cambridge and will aptly be named Cambridge 1. Once completed, the machine will use artificial intelligence to conduct research and solve pressing challenges within healthcare and medicine. And once it is up and running, it'll become the 29th most powerful computer in the world, boasting a mind-numbing 400 petaflops of AI performance bytes, which, by the way, is a measure of computers' processing speed. As the UK battles one of the most severe outbreaks of the pandemic, Nvidia's investment couldn't have come at a better time. Speaking of which, one thing you may not have heard amidst all the noise is that Nvidia's top scientist has developed a ventilator that can be built with only $400 and a couple of off-the-shelf components. With ventilator prices reaching a peak of $20,000, this discovery is expected to drastically reduce the cost of producing a ventilator. Named the OP Vent, it can be assembled in as little as 5 minutes and is small enough to fit in a Pelican case. Effectively, this could be Nvidia's most life-saving invention yet. Hopefully, and if approved by the FDA, the world can take a breath again as it battles a desperate shortage of ventilators. So, as we take stock, Nvidia's journey has flown us through the most potent graphics cards, cheeky mergers and acquisitions, flashy projects in AI, Britain's most powerful supercomputer, and even the development of life-saving ventilators. And if we cast our glance on the driving seat and bring our attention back to our old friend Jensen Huang, we discover a similarly vibrant and flamboyant personality. Starring a fancy leather jacket over an all-black attire, a Tesla Model S as his daily ride, and even a tattoo with Nvidia's logo etched on his arm, Huang definitely commands a glittering persona. And we're yet to mention his sagaciousness in predicting the market's trends, as demonstrated by the ongoing chain of successful business ventures. Thus, with Huang at the helm, I'm doubtful as to whether a better occupant of the driving seat could ever be found. So, are you sporting an Nvidia graphics card in your PC? And do you approve of a company's CEO tattooing his logo on his arm? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed this, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I will see you soon, continuing to share great business stories past and present, and whatever else happens in the business world. So thank you all, and have an excellent rest of your day.